Welcome back to Financial Strategies with Andrew Adjemi in Connecticut and Daniel Adjemi in Colorado.
So I recently bought a brand new Dodge Challenger, and I'm enjoying this car. And it's really cool because it's got this computer in it that allows me to kind of fine tune a car, this car to be able to run on, regular or get gas economy, or to be able to be sport, or just these different settings the computer has. I can push a button, and I can change my setting, and that all works pretty nice. But it's if you compare that, however, to the race car that is designed for a specific person on a specific day, where they put the race car on the dyno, and they tune it with a computer to be able to get the exact highest performance they can get out to be able to win the race, because it's based upon the weight of the driver. It's based upon the conditions, the weather conditions that day, the tires, the gas that's used, all these different aspects to fine tune it to get the absolute highest performance, as compared to my Dodge Challenger with the push buttons for the retail public. A little bit different. I'm Andrew Adjemi.
I'm Daniel Adjemi, and you're listening to Financial Strategies. Our topic today is business owners. What's next? Dad, I like that analogy a lot. And typically, business owners want the best, right? Entrepreneurs, they've spent all their time and energy. They could have went and got a job and made good money, but they wanted to build something. They wanted that peak performance, and they wanted to either create or give some kind of service that didn't exist. And that's why, we started with Bezos. That's what he did. Took what's the internet and turned it into this behemoth of a shipping company, online, app. So business owners want the best, like those race car drivers want the best peak performance.
Right.
And if we relate that to the financial world, we're talking about things that are pre-designed, like those tuning settings that you already have built into your car.
Right.
That's your click Roth IRA, click traditional IRA, click 401k, right?
Right.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about pulling this business into the shop, putting it on the dyno,
Right.
testing, waiting, measuring, getting it to be tuned exactly for what these entrepreneurs want.
Exactly.
If it's to keep key employees, it's tuning it that way. If it's to push out income for them, it's to do that. If it's to save taxes, tweak, it's to do that, right? And it's not one of these cookie cutter. Roths are great, right? Traditional IRAs are great, but these are for just the average person. These aren't for entrepreneurs who are in special situations. There's a lot of tax loopholes.
That's right.
For business owners.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these politician people give them a hard time, or this or that or the other thing.
Right.
Or business owners, the ultra wealthy. It's because they're business owners and they know how to use these things. So we're taking this and we're talking about how small and medium-sized business owners who are interested in getting that peak performance can tweak these things.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really cool. Some of these things, the people that, and what I was thinking about when you're talking, Daniel, is that the politicians in DC actually do some of these things themselves. Like, they know how to set these things up so that they can get, they're making a lot of money. It's interesting how you can go to Washington, be poor when you go to Washington, you leave and you're a multimillionaire, right? And they know how to do some of these things. And that's what we're talking about. But too many times, and one of the biggest questions, Daniel, that I know people in our listening audience is going to have, well, how come I haven't heard about this stuff before? Right. And it's because it's who you're talking to. You got to make sure you have the right team that you're talking to. Like what I referred to earlier in our show is how we've hired different people, for our company. Like the example that I gave was of a CPA, and we've had a lot of different CPAs, and they wouldn't do for us what we finally ended up with the CPA and what he's doing for us as far as meeting our needs to fine tune our tax situation to be so that we can pay as little as possible amongst our different companies legally. I'm all for paying taxes, the taxes I have to pay, but I don't want to pay more than what is my fair share from that standpoint. And I think business owners are in that same realm, generally speaking, primarily.
Well, you mentioned optionality as well, and this puts the power back into your hands, right? Why have you been successful as an entrepreneur? Well, because you're a good decision maker, right? You're a good decision maker. You saw a market where something was missing, and you created that missing piece to fit that. You're
right.
CEOs, entrepreneurs are good decision makers. So you're in this position because you're already a good decision maker. And so these options are available for the specific few who have created these kinds of things, and they're built for those good decision makers because they don't need that presetting to say Roth IRA, traditional IRA, 401k, right? Because they can weigh out the different options when they see the options and say, this is best for me because I want to live on a beach, or I want to pay for my grandkids' college education, or I want to just travel with my wife, right? Those kinds of things.
Right.
Or I want to give to charity, like whatever that is.
Right. Exactly. Everybody has different things. We're all individuals. We all have, are wearing different clothes. We all drive different cars, all that kind of thing. And it's a great thing. That's what's so wonderful about being an American, that we are all able to do what's important to us. And that's what these kinds of plans are designed to do, is to fit the business owner for what the business owner is trying to do. Well, you're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi, because people don't know. Today, we're talking especially to business owners about, well, now what? You built this business, you're thinking about retirement, and now what? What do you do? What do you do with these assets? You sell the company, you make some money, but big taxes can be coming. Well, we have a couple different things that we'd like to give to you, but right now I'd like to offer you that we have a business owner's package designed to give you some of the high points of some of these things that we've been talking about today regarding the different kinds of plans that are available. Daniel mentioned defined benefit, defined contribution. And in a defined benefit program, you can end up putting away hundreds of thousands of dollars every year toward what you're trying to do, whether it's trying to sell the company, whether it's trying to give you the income that you need for retirement, whatever that may be. But we have this business owner's package available for you. So you can call 800-725-7616, 800-725-7616, and ask for it by name, the business owner's package. Megan will be glad to get that out to you free of charge. And that will give you some insight so that you can be able to figure out and start thinking about what you may want to do. Daniel, this is really exciting stuff that we're talking about, and how to be able to design these things. And I enjoy being able to help business owners to figure out how they can get from one point to where they are now to this other point, and be able to have the stress-free retirement that they need and they want. These plans that you're talking about are just interesting. These defined benefit plans, what is defined is what the benefit is. And then the calculations are made for what you have to put in so that you don't have to pay tax on that now. Yeah, taxes are going to go up. You're going to pay taxes in the future. But once we get it in that kind of plan, that's another thing what we do with it. Another thing that a lot of business owners that may be listening to us don't understand, don't realize, is that you can get a Roth 401k portion of your 401k plan. If you don't have that, that may be something you want to look into to offer to your employees. This is something that when the employees put money in, and if they're over 50 years old, they can put as much as $26,000 a year into a Roth 401k. And so then that money will come out of that Roth 401k tax free. And what I like to say, if it's tax free, it's for me. So there's a lot of good things. What else comes to your mind, Daniel, when we're talking to this stuff?
Well, that we absolutely love optionality, and that's where the good decision maker comes in, right?
Right.
Because you if you have too much optionality and you're not a good decision maker, well then it doesn't do any good. It's analysis by paralysis and you just go crazy.
Right.
But one of the things that this does, it puts the power back into your head and it gives you optionality. And one of the examples I love to use, because we've been able to do this for a bunch of our clients, and the scenario looks like this, right? I'm going to make up some numbers so people can follow along easily.
Great.
But you have $100,000 in a traditional IRA.
Right.
Those are in bonds, okay? They're going to all come due in 5 years, just to make it simple. You're earning 4%, so $4,000 a year on this money.
Okay.
Now, imagine if
And
those
end of 5 years, you're going to get $100,000 because they're coming
it
due.
doesn't matter where they go. It
Okay.
doesn't matter if they go up to 150 or down to 50. In
You're getting
5
100 grand.
years, you get your money back and you collect the $4,000 a year.
So kind of like a 5-year CD, kind of from that.
Well, it's
standpoint.
different than a CD because
Yeah.
it fluctuates. Now, we talk about optionality and
Right.
we talk about embracing volatility. Well, here's an example. If those came down
Right.
because people were worried about the industry, right? Oil,
Yep.
for example, right? Oil
Yep.
went negative last March, and now what is it, $60 a barrel or something like that? So here's an example. It comes down. Now, let's pretend this is exaggerated, but let's pretend it comes down to $50,000 for
Okay.
bonds.
Okay.
Good or bad? Well, it depends how you look at it.
Right.
So these are going to come due in 5 years at $100 grand. So you could take those and you convert those to a Roth.
Right.
You would pay $50,000. You would pay taxes on $50,000, but it's $100,000 worth of
Wow.
investments, right?
Yeah.
You following?
Right. Yeah.
You
So in
still
5
get
years,
$4,000 a year. You're still collecting that. It doesn't matter if it's 50,000 or 100,000, but
Yeah.
now you've converted that into the Roth, and in
Wow.
5 years, it's going to
Yeah.
come due at 100 grand. So you just converted $100,000 plus an income stream of $4,000 a year at $50,000.
Wow,
Is that good?
half price. Wow, that's fantastic. Man, the amount of taxes that would be saved in that could be 50% over that period of time or more potentially. Wow, that's just a wonderful thing. I love doing that for people because that's so key to being able to pay as little tax as possible.
And the reason I bring that up, which we're gonna have to wait to get into it, but the reason I bring that up is because there's another thing that you can do inside. If you build a cash balance plan for your company, that you can do that and get money out and have it tax free, just like that example I gave.
Wow. Excellent. Well, I see it's coming time for us to take a break. You're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi. Today's topic is business owners. Now what? Well, we're glad to have you with us, and we have a couple things we'd like to give to you. We have a business owners package that you can have by calling us at 800-725-7616. We also have, for the next 5 callers, the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Excellent read, easy read. And whether you're a business owner or not a business owner, just a book for you to be able to help you understand how you can become a business owner if you like, or at least be able to use some of the principles that business owners use. So the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, to the next 5 callers, or the business owners package, you can have by calling 800-725-7616, 800-725-7616. We'll be right back after this.
History tells us the market goes up and the market goes down. What would you do if you lost half of your retirement savings? It's time to make the shift to steady, reliable retirement income. And where do you go? The Retirement Income Store. Log on to agemi.com for your free retirement review. That's AGEMY.com. The Retirement Income Store, where retirees go for income.